I've been doing YouTube for 5.5 years, and I just had a first. This has never happened before. We literally were 2 or 3 minutes in, and I just was like, I didn't click go live. That's a first. So that's why we're a couple of minutes
good warm
late.
up. It's a good warm up.
It's a good warm up. Oh, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Notre Dame fans. You could be in the evening like where I'm at, or Robbie's out in Hawaii, so it's the afternoon for him, or maybe you're somewhere in Asia, or with that, I don't know. It's morning for you somewhere, Australia.
Don't stress about it.
I'm not stressing about it, but yeah, thank you for making us a part of your day, watching live, watching back, listening to this as a podcast. Really, thank you for making us part of your day. Hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel for more content. This show is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoor. So tailgate season, football season is all here, and no one's going to get you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoor. So swing by your local store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and so much more. 8 stores across Indiana, new store coming soon to Mishawaka at the end of September. So yeah, you have unbeatable prices every single day. So gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Robby, man, how you doing? Couple days after Notre Dame's lost to Texas A&M, you hanging in there, brother?
Just by a hair. We had that 2 week, or we had the bye week, so I was definitely hoping for us to perform, which, there were some bright spots, but obviously there's a lot we got to be worried about. But anyways, beautiful weather out here in Hawaii. Other than the Notre Dame game, I'm all right.
Yeah. So Notre Dame dropping to 0-2. The scenario that's like it's such an interesting thing, Robby, because like the Notre Dame community is just so pissed right now. And I can tweet right now and be like, hey, here's a picture of my daughter. She just turned 11 months old. The response would be, fire Chris Ash. It's just like that's what's on everyone's mind right now. But like, I got a story coming out tomorrow morning where Kirk Herbstreit and Adam, I'm sorry, I don't remember his last name. He's a CBS sports analyst. You got like these big analysts talking about like, yeah, I still think Notre Dame's making the playoff. It's such an interesting spot right now because it's like, and we could talk about it more, but yeah, just like the state of where this program's at. It's like, yes, you're 0-2, but you know, it's 4 points by 2 against 2 top 10 teams. Again, it's a really interesting spot, but and we can talk about some of these big picture items, but just your initial thoughts on this game, 41-40. The end really did feel like Ohio State in 2023, Robby.
No, I think I guess kind of my no shit Sherlock initial reaction to the game was, we were so worried about the offense coming out of Miami, but it turns out offensively I don't think we're as bad as we kind of thought we were, but defensively, not being able to be in sync with each other, we are pretty bad. In terms of our DB, our back end, and our front seven being able to cause pressure. So I do think that there were some great things that we saw on offense, but there is a ton that we got to clean up on defense. And I watched Coach Freeze or most of his presser today, and I kind of agree with him in how we just as a unit got to be able to play together from the front to back end.
Yeah. So looking at the stats, we were talking about this a little bit off air. Like if I would have told you, Robby, before the game that Marcel Reed would complete 46% of his passes, that CJ Carr would throw for 293, and that Notre Dame would run for 151 yards sack adjusted, you would say, I mean,
that sounds like a no-brainer. That sounds
it's probably Notre Dame's going to win by a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. And on top of that, we had, I think it was maybe, 162 yards rushing? Was that?
It was 150. 151 sack adjusted. So when you take out the sack, the net is 136. But yeah, I mean, especially if I had dropped that Notre Dame scored 40 points, which which is crazy.
If you look at it from a explosive play perspective, I mean, he only completed 17 of 37. Talking about Reed from A&M, but I think 8 of those accounted for 275 yards, which you just can't have that. I think we only hit him twice, which, again, in the off season or in camp, we heard about our D-line, which was something that nobody was worried about. But now all of a sudden it becomes a little worrisome with not being able to get pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, John Collins says 17 passes for 360. Correct. Lucian, the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He says, first, I want to say that Robby was one of my favorite wide receivers and was underrated in the 2012 season. Second, the game was full of bad calls and no calls.
Yeah, I think I couldn't agree with you. First off, thanks for the kind words. But, in terms, the refs are something that we can't help, right? So everything that we can help is kind of what I like to focus on. But there were some really shitty no calls and calls that did turn the game. I saw a clip from John Gruden where he was pretty fired up about that no call with the hold. So I agree with you there, brother. There it is. Unfortunately, a tackle is not a hold is what one of the tweets that I saw. So, oh man.
Yeah,
it makes you wonder where the refs' eyes were at in this point, where it's a clearly passing down.
I mean,
with a 4-man rush, and the refs missed this one.
Who's 95? Why am I blanking on who 95 is? Hold on. 95. Bryce Young. Duh. Idiot, Mike. I mean, if you just look at so much of the focus is on Heinisch here. Look at Bryce Young right under him.
Mm-hmm.
That's called those times. So I feel like there's two.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think we should, if we do get, I don't want to get in a discussion of just the refs, because we could talk all day about the refs. But yes, there were missed calls, but there was a lot that we left out on the field.
Yeah. It's like so there's a lot. We talk a lot about this. We talk a lot about Ash. Like there's so much on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that it's very fair to bring up the Tyler Buchner play that really screwed Notre Dame.
Man.
But it's that you can't blame the game solely on him. But you can't also. No, I mean you can't.
No,
right?
You can't blame it solely on him. But that's such a routine
I also
play.
think it's fair that you can't blame it all on Chris Ash. That's not a popular opinion, but you can't. I'm going to show a video that I don't know if you have seen, Robby, and I didn't send it to you. We'll watch it together, where it's breaking down some of the DB play, and it's like I don't think that that was intended by the Notre Dame staff, or like it's not really Chris Ash's job to teach that up. That's more of a position coach thing. So it's football. There's so many things. But yeah, you want to add anything on the Buchner play?
No, I was upset at the end when they kept showing him, and I saw him smiling when they were down at like the 13-yard line.
Okay, so what
that was something that really pissed me off. If I make a mistake like that, if that's me, there's nobody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I feel like, again, you can't blame that one play on the loss, but if that was me, I would feel like I lost the game for the team.
Okay.
Now granted they didn't score yet, but cameras are going to be on you. So you just got to be a little more locked in, and everybody deals with shit,
True.
when shit happens in their own way. But, when it comes to a team sport, if I saw somebody smiling on the sideline after a mistake like that, I'd be pretty fired up.
This is Buchner's 5th year in college football.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, played since his freshman year. Like, he's got to know. Mm-hmm. He's got to know that. I agree. Dude, I'm scrolling the message board after the game, and of course, there's so many different threads, mostly about Ash, but people would post about Buchner and be like, "Did you see him smiling?" And a lot of people came to his defense. They're just like, "No, it wasn't. No, it's not his fault. It's all about Chris Ash." And I'm thinking, and people are saying that they didn't like the smiling. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, Robby, I'm like, I'm right there. I don't know if this is popular or unpopular. I like it. I would have been the same way as you.
Yeah. I relooked at it. I think they were like on the 13-yard line at the time. So, at that point, I'd be just praying to God. I wouldn't be smiling with a teammate. But, again, I don't want to pick on a kid. I think time and place, you got to have awareness, especially after a botch snap like that.
And then, you brought up you don't want to pick on a kid, but also Tyler Buchner, I think, can drink beer. Like he you know, it's 50 year
Yeah,
college
yeah, yeah.
football.
No,
You know,
I'm with
like
you. I'm with you.
so. But yeah, we're not
Uh,
still. I don't think we're
yeah,
picking on him. It's just
but
like
the bot snap just hurt. I feel like it. I hate to say this, but once that happened, I was watching the game with a couple buddies, and including one of them, including Carlo um, Calabrese, former linebacker. We both looked at each other and we're like, "Oh no!" Like if that's not a sign of what's to come, I don't know what is. And
yeah.
then, sure enough, they have the return. Thank goodness there's a holding call. But
I still haven't seen
we
that yet.
yeah,
I was running upstairs. I was watching it downstairs with my wife.
it
We
was a
didn't see
hold,
it.
and the announcer is one of the guys that pissed me off because he said it was right down the middle of the field. That was his lane. He gets held. And the color commentating is something else that we can discuss on a later date. But my goodness, he's saying, oh, that would not have made a play on or made a difference on the return. But that guy is running right down the middle of the field. So we got to get a little help in the booth upstairs as well when it comes to the commentating. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Every Monday after these games, we're going to be talking with former Notre Dame wide receiver Robby Toma. Do want to plug another sponsor because this episode is brought to you by ESQ, which is seen on all your favorite Notre Dame players and coaches and founded by Notre Dame alum Ga Wang. ESQ is your go-to spot for the best handmade custom suits, sport coats, tuxedo shirts, and more. ESQ's master tailors combine next level craftsmanship with the finest fabrics to deliver a fit that is built just for you. Now with showrooms both downtown Chicago and Winnetka, book your custom fitting at esqclothing.com. And you know I'm going to bring this up. I took that photo of Marcus Freeman 3 years ago, had no idea that he was rocking ESQ at the time. But here we are, and he certainly was. So mention blue and gold at your appointment and receive 10% off your entire purchase. That's esqclothing.com. I feel like one of these days I'm going to be doing this ad read and it's just going to see in the corner, very small font. It's going to say photo Mike Singer. I can't wait. I'm just kidding, ESQ. You don't got to do that. But yeah, esqclothing.com. What else kind of stood out from the game, Robby? Definitely want to talk about the receivers, but what else?
I think again, like I mentioned in the beginning, we're not as bad as we thought we were offensively. I do think that short yardage we gotta, on later downs we gotta lock it in because it seems like there's always somebody who gets leaked right through and stops a first down, and the next thing you know we're getting 3 points. Like we got to clean up the short yardage.
Yeah.
I think that has to be a point of emphasis because we have two of the best running backs that I think, in the country. So
what do you think the solution is to that? Because someone's leaking through, which sometimes could be bad O-line play. Sometimes it's just they're sending more than you can block.
Sure.
Or they're just totally selling out and they're like, it's like you're playing Madden or NCAA and there's like a button to be like sell out on run or pass.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like. So is it something where
I mean, I haven't looked at it in depth, so I don't want to give a technical reason, but
I guess is there like
I do remember at certain times throughout the game, let's say it's 4th and 1 and we'd come to the sideline and Brian Kelly would be screaming at the O-line like, this is your time to take over the game, to finish the game, or whatever the scenario might be. So I don't know what if they're making it a point in practice, but when we get in a 3rd and 1 situation, I want to see more wins. There might and we didn't do too bad on 3rd down. I saw the stats, but at the end of the day, that 3rd and 1 should be in favor of the offense, and I hope that we can clean that up and start to get 7 points instead of 3.
$10 super chat. Robby, coming from an Islander, Marcus Mariota made the 808 face mask in tribute to Hawaii. Does seeing it on players not from there upset you and Manti?
Well, so we do have 3 Hawaiians. Let me reread that question. Does seeing it on players? No,
Like
not at
Hawaii.
all. No, not at all. I love seeing the Hawaii support and every team that I've been on or any state that I've been to, if you're from Hawaii, people tend to love you. So I think it's an honor, for us to kind of inspire people or like guys like Marcus to inspire teammates or people to love Hawaii and appreciate the culture. So I don't think anybody takes it as a sign of disrespect. If you do, you need some help from Hawaii.
I'm gonna break a cardinal rule. I don't ever say what I'm about to say. But is it bad that I have no idea what this means? Like, I didn't know this was a thing. Is that bad?
So Marcus, his face mask has an 8, and then there's 2 8. So you see how it says 808?
Yeah.
So that is Hawaii. I guess before every telephone number, 808.
Yeah, the area code.
Is the beginning, right? Is the area code. So Marcus started that, and there's a ton of guys that wear it now, and I doubt that a lot of people know that that's what it's for.
Yeah, so. I didn't know if that was like a big thing that I missed.
Mike just proved it. So, but no, nobody should get upset about that.
Ken36, good to see you in the chat. Yeah, so okay. But Lucian, really appreciate the support tonight. What about the receivers? Definitely want to ask you about that group, considering that was your position. Malachi Fields targeted 11 times, 5 catches, 77 yards. JD Greathouse.
I thought Fields did a great job. When you get 11 targets, you want to see a better percentage. 5 out of 11 is
no drops
bad.
though.
Less than 50%, I know, but you still want to see a better catch percentage. But I think he really showed his ability to go up and get it. And something small that I was very impressed with was how he ran his hitch route. I think it was on a third and 6 maybe, but he
sounds like he's going deep.
He got the DB's hips flipped, and he was able to make an easy catch. So I really appreciated a clean hitch route by him. Greathouse, we saw a flash of him from the playoffs, and that was a great throw by Carr.
It was beautiful.
It was a great throw, and I thought I saw a few times Greathouse as well as Faison getting in there in the run game from a blocking perspective that was able to spring our guys free. And then I do want to see a little bit more of Pauling. I mean, it seems like he makes a play every time he's in there. So
he had the nice third down play, if I remember.
Yeah, he did, and I think he also had a big block. My buddy Scott Gamble had pointed that out when we were watching. So I was happy with I was happy with the offense. You score 33 points. Typically, you win the game, and we add the special teams touchdown. We should definitely win that game. So I was happy with the offense, but I think we got to clean up the short yardage.
Yeah. Am I wrong in thinking when I'm thinking about the pass offense, a lot of it can be like manufactured, right? Whether it's screens or like
sure,
it's like a one read kind of thing. Like a lot of it is that, or it's Fields.
Yeah,
like I don't know. I want to see more pulling. I want to see more Faison other than some screens and in the quick game. Like I want to see Greathouse. I want to see Pauling. Like I don't know.
Yeah. No,
and then Raritan.
Yeah, I think with our run game, it's going to open up more lanes, and we talked about Mariota and the face mask earlier. We might as well bring him up. So Oregon had these wide open lanes that guys were running down, and part of that was attributed to the ability for them to run the football. So, I think as we continue to run the football great, these lanes will open up and we'll be able to see a lot more guys run free.
Yeah. So, folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. Any other Toma takeaways to the game? Talk about the defense at all? What else before we move on?
I mean, I like we touched on earlier. I don't want to just harp on the kids, but we see these DBs back here with these wide open running lanes that we want to see in our pass game, right? So I am hoping that our D-line can get more pressure, and more seems like nobody's gonna be able to throw at him all year, right? I think there's 5 targets, 1 for 11, but he had an interception, right? And then on our interior, I didn't see any linebackers making any real plays in the pass game. So a lot of those gashes were down the middle of the field that I hope we can kind of clean up.
Yeah. I just don't foresee Notre Dame like just getting pressure with 4 all of a sudden. Love Jordan Patello, but he started. I don't remember pressures from Jordan Patello like Bryce Young sophomore year. Like he's a freak. Hear great things about him, and Boubacar Traore had the sack against Miami, but through 2 games Notre Dame has 1 sack and just not enough pressure. So I'm what are we going to see differently? Like
I think we hit the quarterback twice this game out of 37 dropbacks, which I feel like you got to be in the double digit category there.
Yeah, I feel like Ash is. They have to return to Al Golden. Like they have to do what worked last year, and it's like Christian Gray, like Al Golden was incredible. I do feel like we romanticize what Al Golden's defense was sometimes. It's like this lockdown thing. Christian Gray gave up a ton of plays last year too. You're on an island. It happens. The USC game before he had that pick 6, he was getting torched. It's just brutal. If you don't get home and you're running cover 0, it's brutal back there.
Well, I mean, if you think about the beginning of the game, we did get beat deep, but the ball was dropped. But it felt like the defense was playing at a different speed and a different intensity for those first 2 series. Then it felt the rest of the game. The rest of the game, it felt like we were playing on our heels. So when guys are playing with that speed up front, I feel like you can make a little more mistakes on the back end.
Yeah.
Because there is a rush in the throw, right? And again, that's another no shit Sherlock, but the speed the kids were playing with in the beginning just felt different than the rest of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing on Al Golden's defense is just like the tackling. Notre Dame missed so many tackles last year too, and then the 86-yard touchdown was abysmal by Stroman and Gray.
I mean, Gray, he should have hit him with his left shoulder, right? He's trying to protect. I don't know why he didn't try to force him out in the sideline, but he hit him with his right and gave up the sideline. So, I feel like that is a routine tackling drill that kid's probably done a million times. Yeah. And for whatever reason, just didn't execute it.
Yeah, really just dampered the vibes early in that game because Notre Dame's defense looked good on the first drive. You had the punt block touchdown, that was an absolute killer. It's like Notre Dame felt like it had total control, and it was like, all right, this is going to be like past Notre Dame home big night games where the Irish roll, and it was not. It was not that. So
such a bummer. But those are my initial reactions to the game. And again, I listened to Freeman's press, and there's a different feel with Freeman and how he leads these young men, and I hope that they get it corrected.
Yeah. All right, let's kind of go through some of the plays. You can tell me pause or whatever, but just tell me what you're seeing on some of these. And I apologize for folks listening to this as a podcast, but so this is the little trickery, dude.
You know what? I typically hate these trick plays. Right when I saw the reverse, I was like, oh no, but the O-line did a phenomenal job. And, I thought he was going to go through with the reverse when I saw somebody on the edge. So that's what made me say, oh no, but what a great design by Coach Denbrock and great execution by the kids.
Yeah. And Fields I think it was like a post wheel. Yeah. And Fields is covered. Raritan kind of blocks and then leaks out and just gets lost. So
yeah,
good work by Carr, right? I mean, yes. And
then I think is that Fields running that post. I mean, he's the one that makes this all happen with his speed down the field.
Yeah.
And there goes. I mean, remember, tight ends were the number 8 out of 8 position rankings, and
dude, you want to redo that?
he's our leading receiver, right now.
All
So,
right.
I don't know how to say his name. Is it Reardon?
Yeah, Eli Raiden.
Eli
Yeah.
Reardon. So, shout out to that kid. He's doing a hell of a job.
It's funny you mentioned that. So that was our first show where one of our
Mhm.
staff writers at Blue and Gold did like a ranking the positions from best to least best, and yeah, tight
Worst.
end was
We can
8.
say worst. We're 0-2. We can say worst.
So now I'm thinking about that. I mean, the best. I mean, still is probably running back, right?
Oh yeah.
But is 2 quarterback, or is 2 just Leonard Moore? 2 just might be.
I
Leonard
mean,
Moore.
two might just be Leonard Moore. Yeah, maybe we do a ranking on another date. But I'll tell you what, the tight ends,
Carr's got to be up there. Yeah,
we might have to
Raritan.
flip. We might have to flip tight ends and D line at this
D-line's
point.
got to be last.
Yeah.
What have you thought about the linebackers?
That was something that I was talking about with some of the guys, and I mean this is no disrespect to the kids, but I didn't. The only linebacker that I really remember watching was Bowen.
He's
I
making a
don't
lot of
really.
loud plays
He was.
too.
He was. He. Unfortunately, one of them was 25 yards downfield, but
Wait, hold on. Let me see if we're on the same wavelength as this. I said this on the post game show. I was like, I love that Drake Bowen's a hard hitter, but if you smack somebody 25 yards downfield, that's awesome. But you don't get up and celebrate it.
yeah, I'm on. I mean, I've never hit somebody that hard, so I don't know the emotion that goes through the.
That's a good point.
The Abdullah Oblongata, but he. No, I thought that was a great hit. But again, I don't want to hate on these linebackers, but there was a lot of them running up for what they thought was a run, and then having to sprint back for play action. So, I think that's some of the eye discipline that Coach Free was talking about. So I don't know their defensive scheme, but as far as linebacker play, I don't really recall them doing much in the game, and I think we gotta make that a priority.
Yeah. All right. Here's this one, dude. Please tell me I can get the video to. Is that it? Does this video really start here?
Is that as far back? No, when I watched it earlier, we could see the whole thing.
I don't know, bro. My computer's tripping.
Well, but I mean that play went back to another. Is that Strowman on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean his eyes seem to be not on his guy, and we dump it right over.
Yeah.
Or they dumped it right over, and and then Gray compounds the mistake with trying to just lead with the wrong shoulder, no wrap.
Hobbs is even here. Hobbs didn't have a great game, obviously, but like he's seeing, all right, he's this kid like right here, like Carson Hobbs is thinking,
yeah,
he is not about to run for a touchdown. There's no way. So Hobbs kind of lets up naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's
So Gray's kind of just trying to, lay a hit here, and it's just poor. Like I mean, you just lean in the left. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, you lean in your left shoulder, which he's probably done a million times. Just doesn't do it right there.
That's brutal, dude.
I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due, but that number 1 from A&M had a phenomenal game. Might be the best game he ever has, but that guy was good.
Yeah,
we definitely didn't help making him. We definitely helped make him look good, but
right. Okay, all right, moving along. This one, bro, it's not all negative around here. We're gonna look at some good plays as well.
Not all negative.
Yeah, what do you think about this one, bro?
I thought it was not a good throw. He was wide open, but my goodness, loves a special player and great play design. I think we got a little bit of that guy washed, wasn't able to get out there even if he wanted to, that linebacker. So great play call.
Yeah, love it.
Hell of a catch.
He's so special, dude.
He is. He reminds me of just a bigger Bijan Robinson, and that's only because I'm a Falcons fan.
How did you end up a Falcons fan?
It's a long story, but it's actually not a long story. My favorite running back was Jamal Anderson when I was younger. the dirty bird. So, but we watched the Falcons game yesterday, and Bijan Love reminds me of Bijan a lot, especially the way he cuts in a phone booth.
Have you been to Mercedes-Benz Stadium besides the Natty?
No, I went to the NFC Championship game this would have been 2013, when the Falcons fell to the Niners. That was the year Kaepernick had that run, but I think the Ravens ended up beating them. But anyway,
yeah.
I went to the old stadium.
Yeah, the George Dome. Yeah. I'm curious as a receiver for your take on this. So a lot of people would see this clip right here and say, "Put two hands out." What is your answer to that?
I mean, I'm typically the catch it with two hands, but if that ball came out hot off of CJ's hand, so typically when you run a wheel route, it's a little bit more of a back shoulder throw. So I'm sure they've repped this in practice a million times. So Love might have been expecting it thrown a different way, but the trajectory that it came off, I think Love had no choice.
Yeah, that's where I was getting at. Like, there's like the angle here, like it's hard, you can't tell, but when the ball is out in front of you, like this hand, his left hand would only slow him down. Like that's all you can get because of the way the ball is coming in.
There are times where there's a clear you should have used two hand rule, but I think this one deserved a one hand, especially with how quick that ball came out.
Yeah, right. Same page there. All right, and then the interception. What'd you think about this play?
This one, I don't like the decision. More times than not, you don't want to throw back, right? And it looked like he could have ran and maybe got a couple yards, got down, but I think this is just a case of maybe trying to do a little too much. Just run, go get what you can, as opposed to throwing behind you.
Yeah,
definitely not as accurate of a ball, but I get it. You want to put the ball in your playmaker's hands, obviously save you, but I would like to see him just go carry on, get a few yards, and get down.
Yeah,
live to fight another down.
I've watched this play a handful of times, and I did tweet at the time, like, I thought it was the right decision, just not the right throw. And then it does look like it got tipped at the line. It's hard to tell, but it may have, it may not have, but either way, like the thing is, like, this number 21 in front of him, if you rewind, that's a linebacker. See, this is him right here. Scott Sears, Super Joe. We'll get you in a second, brother. So and he's not really, like, Strauss doesn't really have him engaged. So he's 21 to square up on CJ. So would CJ have been able to pick up yards? But probably, right? You cut back, you go out, you probably would have been able to get a couple yards.
He probably would have scored a touchdown. No, I'm kidding.
So yeah, it's probably the right call. But man, this one only resulted in a field goal for Texas A&M, if I recall correctly. But man, like, you're driving here, you go like get a field goal or a touchdown, like a swing of momentum. That one.
And I think that's the other thing too is we're not creating obviously special teams. We got the punt block, but we didn't have a turnover. We didn't have a turnover from the defense against Miami. We got the one with that Moore picked off, but we can't afford to have turnovers, especially ones that are avoidable, right? Like, I felt like that screen from last week or from Miami game was avoidable. Now this one was definitely avoidable. So then we get some points out there.
Speaking of the screens, it was all about those RPOs. And it feels like Marcus Freeman said, no, I don't want to see it anymore. And then what do we get this week? It was all about the Wildcat. What'd you make about some of the Wildcat calls?
I'm not ever a fan of Wildcat. I am a fan of the RPOs, but there has to be the lock, right? That's in certain scenarios. So I'm not a fan of motioning. One of the bigger ones that upset me was when we motioned him into slot, and the linebacker, doesn't have anybody blocking him because CJ is not going to block the linebacker, right? So if you're going to motion CJ, in my opinion, you motion him to the far side, get him out of the play, because that line, if Love ends up breaking that tackle, that linebacker ends up making the play, right?
Yeah.
So I think we lost a blocker, right? So
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that one. Motion him in the slot.
At that point, there's no numbers advantage to having him take the snap. Because, you think about it, like all the times that's happened, like a quarterback just goes out wide. And then if no one goes over your quarterback, you snap the ball and you throw it to him. And you pick up several yards, but you put him in the slot, he's close enough where you can kind of just leave him. It's a good point that I had not really thought about. Folks, today's show is also sponsored by Game Time, and buying tickets for your favorite sporting events can be a nightmare. You got the queues, the logins, prices jumping at checkout. I'm trying to get tickets to the World Cup. That is a disaster early on, but Game Time does not take the fun out of buying the tickets for your favorite sporting events, concerts, comedy, so much more. Game Time is a game changer. The app puts the advantage back in your hands. In just a couple taps, you'll get great seats at great prices, and tickets start as low as $25. The price you see is the price you pay. There's no hidden fee sneaking in at checkout. You can even see the view from your seat before you buy, which is awesome. And there's zone deals. You pick the section, and Game Time will pick the seat, so you save even more. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code ON3. That's ON3 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. You swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. Whew. That's a killer ad read right there, man.
You got it.
Go.
Nailed it.
From Scott, $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Scott. He says, Robbie, what's the reason Greathouse has only had 2 catches this season? I only remember the one. I didn't even know he caught a second one in that game. But granted, the big one against A&M was important, but just using him as a decoy more often than not. Or are we just using him as?
Yeah, I mean, I again, I'm not in that receiver room, but that seemed like a clear. I think they motioned face on, and they did some kind of high low, but that seemed kind of clear, and to get him involved there. And then again, the Miami game, I don't think he did very well in the blocking game. So I don't know if he was kind of in timeout or whatnot, but I do think that last season or during the playoff run, he showed his ability to catch the football, and there should be a little bit more emphasis to get him the ball.
How much is there just like quarterbacks just trust their I trust you, I'm going to look to you more?
I think. Well, I played with Mike Floyd, and there's obviously that guy who could bail you out of certain situations. But when you get into kind of a more schematic type of offense, when you don't have that one true guy, you look at the high-low that CJ read, and he read it perfectly, right? So, I don't know if it's as much of him just, being put in the scheme to where he's getting other guys open, but that's actually what I kind of think it is he's put in a situation to help guys get open, right? If he runs that corner route and that corner floats off of him, then Faison gets the ball. So I do think that it's a little bit of scheme from the defensive perspective as well. So let me see if I was right. Yeah, Faison runs the out. He runs the corner.
I mean, it's not even. It's more of like a slot fade.
It's kind of like a slot fade, but when it's kind of that. Again, it's
same
the way
concept.
It's like a smash. It's like a smash, right? So
smash concept. Yeah.
It's a smash concept. So, but it's a great throw by CJ. Great read. I'm sure that there are, 10 plays that we can't see that Greathouse is open, and maybe CJ missed them. I'm not saying that's the case, but I don't think that that they're trying not to get Greathouse the ball. But I do think there needs to be a little more emphasis on getting him the ball.
Yeah, that was actually the last play I had planned to pull up. I just kind of picked some random ones. Yeah, Scott, really appreciate.
Thanks, Scott.
Man, I'm seeing some new names in here. I don't even like Chewy Chorizo. We already talked about this. I queued this up like 20 minutes ago, and yeah, we just talked about that. So, all right. The next thing is I talked about this earlier. I want to pop something on screen that I haven't watched. I know you haven't watched it. So this is my buddy Landon Tangwall. I covered him as a recruit. He was considering Notre Dame and Penn State, and he ended up at Penn State, medically retired, and now he does YouTube clip ups. So this is him talking. So if there's at any point he's got like the all 22, he's talking about the Notre Dame DBs. So if there's at any point you want me to pause and rewind or anything, just jump right in. All right, Rob?
Okay.
Notre Dame defensive backs have some mechanical issues, but the good news is they are very fixable. Let's talk about it. So first up, we got Gray here in man-to-man coverage. And if you notice here, he has inside leverage on this wide receiver. And what the wide receiver is going to run is just basically a 12-yard dig route right here. So I want you to watch Gray, and as he gets into his back pedal here, watch his hips. So back pedal, back pedal, back pedal. And right here, he turns his hips to the sideline. You see that? And you go where your hips go. The problem is this wide receiver has done nothing to tell Gray that he is doing anything outbreaking. He just went straight. He literally went straight up the field. And then all he's done is show you that he is going to go inside. So I don't know why Gray is breaking outside here, but he is completely square to the sideline, and you're dealing with a dig route. So Reed looks through, comes back, and says, hey, that is easy pickings there for me. I'm going to hit that, and a really nice gain there on Gray.
If you go back to it from an offensive perspective, this receiver does exactly what he's coached to do, and that's put pressure on the DB with speed. So he said, hey, he didn't do anything to make him believe he's going outside, but it's that speed. And I think Freeman kind of mentioned it in his presser. He doesn't know if they've challenged his guys, vertically enough. That's not the term he used, but consistently in order to feel comfortable with trusting his technique with speed like that coming his way.
But he kind of guesses, right? Like Christian Gray just guessed, because typically if you like, I played receiver at a significantly lower level than all of you guys, but like if I am running straight, like, and I'm trying to sell that 9 route, like the DB, typically would just keep backpedaling, but he sees him break and he just guesses out. He just guess like,
but I mean, it's a good take from your buddy Landon. Is it Landon?
Landon,
sorry.
Yeah.
Landon.
Which my first thought on this was, how the hell does Landon Tangwell, an offensive lineman, know about this DB wide receiver DB breakdown? I was impressed, but keep it rolling.
Easy pickings there for me. I'm going to hit that, and a really nice gain there on Gray. All right, now we're at the top of the screen with Zachary here. He's got outside.
True freshman, by the way, because Leonard Moore came out, so that's why Zachary's in.
Yep.
Leverage right here on this wide receiver, and what you're going to get out of him is it's a go route, but he is going to give a little out and then up on Zachary here. So let's watch Zachary's hips. So he's back pedal, and I think right here you see this. He is basically committed to the idea. I mean, you see once again his hips are square to the inside of the field and is almost into a crossover, that this is either going to be a go route or this is going to be something in breaking. Now the wide receiver does a great job of selling that this is an out route. So Zachary says, crap, I got to turn all the way back around to come back and break on this out route. The only problem is it was out and up, and now he is getting vertical, and your hips are now square to the line of scrimmage, not somewhere where you want to be. So you were in full-on trail mode. And then right here, this is where you miss Xavier Watts a little bit. You need your one high to go make a play on this ball, and he's not able to do it. So little technical difficulties there.
I think if you look at the beginning, the way that he is dropping, he's trying to funnel it into that safety, right?
Yeah.
Which
he's got to stay wider than. Huh?
I've never been in the DB room, but I don't want to talk too much technique. But when you look at this, the safety is on the hash, right? So it looks like he's trying to funnel it. So if anything, don't get beat to the sideline. Don't let him get in your blind spot. And then I do think the safety takes a bad angle.
It looks like a terrible angle.
I
think that's why we saw so much more Tay Johnson in the second half.
The safety overshoots it, And it's kind of similar to that Miami one where he's standing over and the receiver makes a play on the ball. But yeah, I do think that there are some technical issues, but it does look like it could be very fixable.
Yeah.
But you see that angle, how that's just no ball skills, you know?
Yeah, that is definitely where Watts would clean you up a lot. Like he would 100%. So looking at this, what's the coverage look like to you? I mean, obviously it's it's a single high, but are we looking like a zone blitz?
With the single high, if you see those linebackers, after they realize it's not a run, it looks like they're going into some kind of zone drop.
Yeah.
Right? So it looks like they're spot dropping.
Because if it's a man, they're just if it's man and their guy just not going out to block, then you're just spying.
It looks like they might be doing some type of banjo, which is kind of like a bracket on the boundary.
Yeah, the crosser. Look, you got 3 on.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's not. Yeah.
But again, let's go back and let's kind of look at the pressure. If we do run these types of zones,
let me interrupt you, Robbie. Right? I'm so glad you brought this up because this is the yin and yang of football, dude. Like, you don't have Mark Zachary in this situation if Marcel Reed doesn't have all day to throw back there.
Sure.
Right? Like, so that's something that Notre Dame was able to do more last year. But yeah, go ahead.
and no, but
so brought
he's
4
got all day. He's got all day, and then you have 2 receivers that can run really well. We found out, right? So you got to be able
pocket you've ever seen, dude.
Yeah, you got to be able to put pressure. I mean, shit, I could run a double move right now at this age, probably tear something. But if you got all day, actually, I couldn't. These kids would tear me apart. But and then a bad angle by the safety with some technical issues from the corner. I mean, just bad ball.
Yeah, I think one of the most disappointing things on this play is Boubacar Traore here. I mean, one-on-one, just not giving you. I mean, everyone else is getting double teams, right? Mm-hmm. Tui Halamaka, is that Anye, and that's
where to the line?
That's either Heinisch or.
Well, they have one. I can't tell who that is. Is that the running back? Looks like he's ready to block, but then just takes it out. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, you got all day to throw, and these are the types of things that happen, especially when you got a kid running onto the field after an injury.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let me fast forward a little bit. Okay. All right, here we go.
Difficulties there in our mechanics. So now we're back at the top of the screen. Gray, one-on-one. And what I see here is,
dude, like Robbie, like a lot of people are, on the Twitter and the message board, like, just run man. I don't want to see much zone. Again, if you can't get pressure and you're leaving your DB in cover 0 or, may at best cover 1, this is what happens. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're running zone or man. Like, if you can't pressure the quarterback and you don't have Ben Morrison or Leonard Moores, like, just all over the field, like, they're like Xavier Watts, like they mask a lot of problems, right? Like, okay, anyway.
No, but like you mentioned earlier, when we played USC, Gray had some issues in man, right? But
yeah,
we're able to mask those or kind of hide those issues with the pressure, which he was able to make some plays at the end of the game.
Love you, Christian Gray, by the way, like clutch player, made USC pick, the Penn State pick, but yeah, not a good day at the office.
That one step forward, and that's fine. Some people call that a false step. One step forward, and that's fine. Some people call that a false step. I don't really have a full-on issue with that if you're taking that step and trying to put a hand on the wide receiver. The problem is he doesn't, and then it's just kind of concede this inside. And the receiver doesn't have to fight through anything. He can just go straight vertical because you didn't really take the fight to him in the press man.
I'm positive, Robbie, like, how much can you of these things can you fix during the football season? Like, when it's in season, how much instruction is really happening. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
mean, I don't know if this is I mean, again, these two receivers could really run, right?
Yeah.
So, and I haven't paid enough attention, or excuse me, haven't paid enough attention to the technical side of Gray's game, but I do think when you're matched up against somebody with speed, like I think it was, how do you say it, Concepcion,
Yeah.
and is it Craver? But when you're matched up with guys like that, it might scare you a little bit. So
Yeah.
you kind of
Okay.
lose a little
Good
bit of
point.
technique. So and again, I'm not saying the kid was scared, but when you see that speed on the field, you tend to, I guess, play it a little differently, right? So
No. Yeah.
I think it's fixable. I do think with some maybe underneath help, you could kind of buzz somebody out there, maybe help them out a little bit on the lower side, but I want to say that we could fix it. I want to trust in the kids. So I think it's fixable. The kids got to be able to see it and execute it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. It's not like Gray doesn't know how to do these things. It's just more
Yeah.
about more opponent. Like dude, we're human too. It's not like it's a video
Sure.
game where it's like my guy has 78 speed and I need him get him to 95 overnight.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Coverage. So now I'm just going to go straight. And now these A&M wide receivers are good. They're fast too. Watch how he starts to kind of bend this out, because he knows if I'm even, I am leaving. And now I'm going to bend out slowly, because what that does is when you start to slowly bend out, that stacks the DB and you get in front of them. And now Gray is in full on trail mode. Ball was overthrown here by Reed, but really not a great rep there from Gray. One more time with Gray. Once again, man coverage at the bottom of the screen. I think he's just giving a little too much on this release, especially against speedy wide receivers. And once again, we're even. So watch this wide receiver is going to bend it back out here and try to stack Gray, because Gray didn't do a great job of just putting a little bit of a hand on him, a blunt on him, and then bends this back out. And then now let's get vertical. And that's a great job by the wide receiver there. And Gray is once again in trail mode. So little things, they are very fixable.
Yeah, I think spot on. You gotta get some hands on them, especially in press man. You don't do press man in order to do a bailout technique, right? So, let's hope that we can get that technique cleaned up.
Yeah, or if you're gonna bail out, right?
Yeah.
Like, but pre-snap, like back up.
Yeah. Just get out of there.
Huh?
No, I'm with you. But if he runs a 3-step slant in that picture, it looks like he can get some yards. So. Instead of pressing and bailing like that, I'd rather get some hands on them right away.
Yeah. So I kind of talked about this earlier in the show, but it's so interesting because like Notre Dame, like what do you do with an 0-2 Notre Dame team? It's like, okay, like the pollsters, and I mean, let's be honest, like the college football playoff committee, right? Like they the brands matter. It's like, okay,
Sure.
I know, like you just know, like if I have a equal resume Alabama or equal resume Iowa State, like you're just going with Bama. Like we're human.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, though, what are we? We're 0-2 by a margin of 4 or 5 points.
4.
It's 4 points, right? So, and I don't think Miami and A&M are the greatest teams on earth, but they are competitive. At Miami's, it's tough to win there. A&M is always going to be a good match. They're SEC, so I think it's deserving. We're gonna, unfortunately for Purdue, they're probably going to meet. They're probably going to meet a buzzsaw this weekend.
Yeah,
and if I'm not mistaken, we beat up on Purdue after NIU.
Yeah, 66-7.
So Purdue, I apologize. You're going to have to be another doormat. But
I mean,
I think we go in there and we pound Purdue, and we get this thing back on track.
Yeah, I mean, I would have no issue. I don't have any issues with where Notre Dame is ranked. Like
0.
But also, if you have Notre Dame outside your top 25, I totally get that as well. Like, I mean, Notre Dame hasn't won a game, and then like you don't have a single win on your resume. We're going on week 4, and it's like USF, and I'm not like trying to say this as an alum, But like, I
Yeah.
mean, USF beat Florida at Florida and beat Boise State by 27 points at home. It's like, but then you got blown out at Miami. But like, you also, again, it's really an interesting thing, Robbie. And I was kind of talking about this in our show yesterday.
It looks bad. Let's be honest. Like, 0-2.
It looks
on
terrible
on the top 25. But
what is worse? Losing by 4 points to 2 top 10 teams or losing at home to a MAC school? Like
but again, what they did after that matters, right?
It does.
So I think Purdue was the doormat. I think it was 60-something 0, maybe? No.
66-7 last year.
66-7, whatever it was, right? So, what you do after that matters. I mean, everybody has a bad game here and there, and I hate to be what's the word? Soft on the reality of the situation, but I do think that if we go ahead and start pounding teams and prove that we are top, I think we'll be in the playoff.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you on that. Like, okay, I got last year's schedule pulled up. Okay, so you beat A&M. That's the big quality win, right?
Yeah.
You lose to NIU, which I think is losing at home to NIU. I think is worse than 2 losses. I even said last year, like, I think NIU is like a loss and a half or 2 losses. Like that's how bad I really thought that. And then after that, I mean, you have the Louisville win, which was a nice solid win. Louisville's 15th at the time. You beat up on Navy, you beat up on Army.
Florida State, yep.
Yeah, Florida State was god awful, but yeah. And then USC was a nice win on the road. You did beat up.
You beat up
Florida
the teams
State.
you're supposed to beat up, right? So
it's like, but the big difference in the comparison is like Louisville and A&M, and then at USC is a quality win. I guess Army and Navy quality wins, but like this year, man. Arkansas, you hope is a quality win. You obviously have to hope that Miami keeps winning. Someone just said in the chat, where was that 99% thing? Bernie said Miami with Carson Beck at quarterback has a 99 chance. I don't know if that is like FPI thing or just your opinion.
I think Miami running the table is going to help, and we obviously need some big wins from A&M, who obviously play in a tough conference. So, and then if we end up taking care of what we got with everybody else, who knows how it's going to shape out.
Yeah, I mean USC could be good.
USC could be a good one as well.
Could be a good NC State team. Like we
just gotta pound everybody. That's the bottom line.
But I just in retrospect, like I don't think like a couple days removed from this game, like I don't think it's as dire chances. And then let me add this because I tweeted. Let me just pull up this tweet, bro, because it kind of popped off today. Give me a second. Let me find it. I quoted Ross Dellinger from Yahoo. He said, newsflash, a 10-2 Notre Dame is likely advancing to the 12-team college football playoff with the caveat that at least one of their first 2 opponents is also good enough to be in the field. Let's be real here. The Irish lost to 2 ranked teams by a combined 4 points with chances to win each in the fourth quarter. And then I got a lot of people in here. Can we win an effing game first? But I'm thinking to myself, Notre Dame has as many wins right now as they did in May when everyone was saying that, this is a playoff team. Like, hey, let's make another run. So it's like we were talking about playoffs then, but now we can't talk about playoffs. I don't play for the damn team. I don't work for the school. Like, I'm still going to talk about it. Like, people are like, oh, let's be real here and everything. Like, no. Is this Notre Dame?
It's going to be extremely difficult.
It's going to be extremely difficult. But is this Notre Dame and we run everything through the championship lens or not? So I'm going to fucking keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. We're going to talk about Notre Dame potentially doing it because all you guys tell me all the time is that it's national championship or bust. The bust hasn't happened yet.
Yep. One more and it does.
Pause. One more, if you lose to Purdue or anywhere else, then we're talking Pop-Tarts Bowl for sure.
We don't have another loss in our in our banks. So.
Robert Grant just reminded me that Notre Dame did not have any losses in May. That is a great point. I did not even think about that.
That is
Robert.
phenomenal math. They're
great.
Phenomenal math.
But yeah, listen, dude, we can still talk about it. That's my point. We can
Yeah.
still talk about it because Notre Dame has not been eliminated yet. Ross Dellinger knows more about this stuff than me, Robbie, and all of you combined, kind of thing. Like this is, this is his thing. Like, so
I think we can all agree though, they just got to win out. And 10 games is tough to do, but we've seen us run the table. So I got faith in Free, but we just got to clean up that damn defense, man.
All right, last thing I'm going to get you out of here. I don't know if you saw this, bro. This tweet from Pete Sampson, which this was Sunday morning.
I did see that.
This tweet alone is wild. I can't believe you even put this out here. I'd be so pissed if I were Notre Dame, but because this was not
Come on, Pete.
This wasn't. No, it's fine. But like this,
I'm joking. I love Pete.
I don't even know if this is something that like did A&M know about
I
this?
tried to look at it a little bit, but sometimes depending on if
I
he's
can
in
see
pistol, sometimes if he's in pistol or
would he line up
or
different?
whatnot, maybe his footwork is a little bit different. So I didn't get a chance to really look at this, but
All right, well, let's do it.
If 58 of them, what is it, on 58 of 64?
Where Carr receives the snap,
but
stance
there's
tells
one
you
of them that his left foot is back and he handed it off. So
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So for folks listening to the podcast, if you haven't tuned out already, I mean, that's a shock, but thank you for still being here. Pete Sampson of The Athletic tweeted, heard whispers last night, CJ Carr tipped run pass based on pre-snap stance. So here, that is, his feet are uneven.
This is the wheel, I'm assuming.
Yep, it's the wheel. Here, very flat-footed, but you're saying it might be more of a pistol versus non-pistol.
Yeah, I just but again, it could be. So that could be the case.
Feet are uneven. Feet are uneven. This is the great.
Feet are uneven pass. Okay.
Pistol.
Feet is pistol again.
So yeah, maybe. I mean, just based on these plays, and then that's
but yeah, if who knows? So
that's a limited sample size.
Hopefully he then brought Cutwin to this, and
if that's a thing,
then we never have to talk about it. But
yeah, if that's actually a thing, then I'm sure that's going to be very easily corrected, or even used against Purdue.
But these guys, even when we were playing, they have everything so dialed in. These coaches that they would not be that naive in how they teach the footwork. So I think it might be just by luck right now, but I don't think that if that was the case, I think it'll get cleaned up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And then, like I said, like it could even be something where he does the opposite thing, and then, throws him off guard kind of thing. I don't know.
Maybe by design.
Throw a thumbs up on this video if you have not done so yet. Subscribe to the Blue Gold YouTube channel, of course, for more content. We're going to have Robby Toma, former Notre Dame wide receiver, live with us each Monday night or Monday afternoon if you're watching Robby from Hawaii. So, that is going to do it for this show. No Bob Morton show tomorrow. We'll have the six-pack on Wednesday, recruiting show on Thursday morning. So a lot to talk about on the recruiting front. And then, leading up to Purdue post-game show, we will have. That's going to do it for this show. Robby, great stuff, my friend. I will see you soon. And everyone, really appreciate you for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
All right, go Ash.